Welcome everybody. Today we're going to show you how you can build a fully functional web application under 10 minutes. So first we'll create the app, give it an app name, title, and then we'll have a basic layout screen, which is the primary layout, which we're going to change, and we're going to split it into two layouts. The first layout, we'll add a data grid, and we'll use the endpoint builder to automatically create the endpoints used to build the data grid and populate the data. So we'll need a table name and a column list for that. That's it. All you need to do, and you can open a portal and to see the result. As you can see, with minimal effort, you have a fully functional grid at your disposal. Now, next step is to add a form on the second panel. So we'll add a form, and again we'll use our endpoint builder to create two endpoints, the record get and the record set, which is needed to fetch and save delete data. Next we're going to link it to the grid so that we know which record actually we need to get and save or delete. Immediately the record get will return us a list of fields from that database table, and we can simply select all of them and use drag and drop to drop them on the form. And now it's just dragging and dropping them to the correct location, however we want them to be. Maybe we can take another splitter and put the postal code and the city next to each other. Put the comments outside. Save that. Next we'll rearrange it a little bit more, make it a bit more logic, and then we're going to say, and we're going to set some attributes and say only update on new, and put that one on bold. Save that, and then open the portal to see the results. As you can see, the form is automatically populated whenever we select a row in the grid. Next we're going to change the types, because we would like this one to be a text area or a progress editor, and we want to use the state as a drop-down list. Here we change it to the drop-down list, and of course we'll use our endpoint builder to create a new endpoint list state. We'll just specify which is the ID and which is the description field, and that's about it, all we need to do to make that happen. Now we submit, and save. Let's go ahead and check what the result is. As you can see, we now have a fully functioning drop-down list. It automatically translates the records or the data as well. Next we'll go ahead and add a ribbon bar to our layout. So we just select our ribbon container, and as you can see, the ribbon is added automatically. We can then start editing those actions if we want, or add new ones. Of course we want to link the ribbon to the form so that the ribbon understands that all the standard actions are basically applied to the form. As you can see now, when we hit modify, it understands that it needs to update the form, and on save you see that the grid is updated automatically. Next we'll go ahead and add some filters to the grid. So for that we'll activate the filter container and put there a form group, and we'll call that filters. Put that bold, and then we'll add some filters. First filter is name. I want to filter on the customer name in this case. The other one, the next one, is a drop-down list, and that will become our state. And we don't need to create a new endpoint for that because we can reuse the one which we created earlier. So that's it. Hit save and show the results. As you can see now, a new filter button has been added, and when you hit that, it opens a filter panel. Of course, we still need to apply these filters in the endpoint, the grid data endpoint, so we'll go ahead and edit that endpoint. I'll just paste a little bit of piece of prepared code. There you go. As you can see, we're getting some values from the query string of the request, and we'll apply that in a dynamic query. We'll hit save, and we can immediately start using that. All filters which are filled will be added above the grid, completely translated. Now the panel, you can also add additional columns here, and as you can see, the data will only be fetched from the server if the column is in the viewing range. We can resize the panels, but if the sizing needs to drop down because we want to apply a minimum width, we can simply add that to the splitter, give it a minimum width of 250 pixels, and then whenever we resize the panel, it'll drop down below. There you have it. Fully functioning app under 10 minutes.